Now, looking at the Visegrad Group, made up of the 4 countries in Europe there, Central Europe. Now, talk us through the importance of the group and what you are looking to achieve.
Generally, our importance of this group, you know, it has a long tradition. I will not go into details because the first initiative of these countries was in 14th century, but revived cooperation taken place since 1991, when we found opportunity to combine our efforts as regards increasing our position in Europe, as regards belonging to NATO, entering European Union. And after 20 years of our cooperation, we must tell that it was a success. It not totally translates into our, I would say, position as regards cooperation with South Africa, and this is, you know, our target now to, I would say, to provide more opportunities for importers and exporters in both countries. We have already certain position, I would say, noticeable in trade with South Africa, because 3 countries of our group have turnover with South Africa of 1 billion, so it is $3 billion. But in my opinion, it is just 1/3 of potential. So it is very important that efforts are intensified. As regards agreements between countries, I know that only Poland have to sign agreement. Probably it will be on July 3rd this year. So formal framework is, I would say, will be completed for all countries. Yes.
A lot of people would be asking, why South Africa? Why have you decided to partner up with South Africa?
You see, it happens that structure of our, I would say, production matches very well with, I would say, imports of South Africa. Yesterday I have gone through some statistic data at what I had pleasure to find, because it confirms my opinion, that I have studied, you know, what are the 100 the most important items from the point of value in your imports. Also, I studied, you know, for all our 4 countries, 22 the biggest items. And it appeared that in 22 items, 65% is matching what is on priority list of imports of South Africa. So in the case of some countries like Czech Republic and Poland, it goes almost close to even 70%. I also looked on potential of your exports and our priorities as regards imports, 45%. So it's not bad. So it is visible that we specialize in supplies which are important for your country, and also in our imports, your supplies could be very important.
Talking on those imports and exports, which sectors are you particularly looking at?
You see, we can easily recognize that our offer, and also it refers to all countries, could enlarge, you know, variety of consumer goods in South Africa. I think even up to 40% shelves could be longer as regards, for example, food products, you know, also furniture, you know. But as regards industrial supplies, we are very strong in electronics, in some precision machinery, you know. So we have practically almost all things you need for development. And as I told, the potential is used only in 1/3. So it is important, you know, that we should treat very seriously, you know, opportunities from both sides. But we recognize that in South Africa, interest in our, I would say, offer is growing, and dynamics of trade is big, 30%.
Now, looking at the manufacturing sector, like in the stories earlier, we know the manufacturing sector here in South Africa has come under pressure, because looking at Europe, which is our largest trading partner, because of troubles there, our manufacturing sector is struggling. How has the V4 Group been affected by the crisis in Europe at this stage?
You see, the most important thing, we recognize that our, I would say, system, principles of our, I would say, economic transformation were sound. Because please note, what was the most important foundation of our success? Educated population. So it is really something very important that in our countries 90% of young people are completing secondary schools, 40% are continuing education tertiary, and for example in Poland number of graduates per year is 400,000 graduates. It is a big figure. We have 2 million students in Poland, so it could be told that every one of 10 students in Europe is active in acquiring knowledge, in Poland. So this is also another platform which we could talk about the cooperation with South Africa. You have in many specialties some, I would say, needs as regards qualified people, almost 820,000. I think our countries could provide, possibility of some contracts for our people. And please note, our engineers and I would say other graduates are competitive because they must accept average salary in Poland. Just only it is $1,000 US. Another thing, please note that we emphasized importance of privatization. So privatization in our countries were very deep, almost matching 85%, and also we have, for example, in Poland, next stage, we want to limit, I would say, government-owned, business to minimum. In our countries, where we had a long time, socialist system, nobody must be convinced, that the best approach to business is privatization. So it is one thing. Also, we have decided to create very good conditions for foreign direct investments. For example, in Poland we have 14 special economic zones enjoyed much by all the capital which is coming to Poland in big numbers. For example, this year in Poland we will have $10 billion US, foreign direct investment. In order just to give you an idea, I can tell that, for example, American assets in our countries, it means in, I don't know figure for Slovakia, but for Hungary, Czech Republic and Poland is $85 billion US. In Poland only, American firms employ 360,000 people. You may compare to this employment, for example, in your automotive industry, 61,000. So big. So it means foreign direct investment feels at home in our countries, and it is also possibility to exchange experience. How to have them coming,
Exchange experience. Could you perhaps be looking at other African countries at the moment? We know we've focused a lot on South Africa. Potential of other African countries at this stage?
I can give you some figure as regards our trade. So as regards, because I am in charge of 9 countries, so the total turnover is $1.1 billion US. For South Africa is 940 million. When we add other SADC countries, probably it will be 1.25 billion. In case we recognize that Czech and Hungarian trade must be also big, so it could be how much? About 4 or 5 billion US.
Let's talk a bit on the formal cooperation of the Visegrad Group at this stage.
You see, as regards, mechanism of Visegrad Group, we have changing presidency, we have meetings of Prime Minister, and there are several fields where they are more active. For example, we have some cooperation as regards transmission of energy. We have even some projects as regards defense industry. For example, in our countries we had a lot of equipment from Russia. We cooperate modernizing this, and we are very strong in this. We have also fund supporting, some students, some research. But there are also many other areas. I will not go in details. One interesting thing I have found today in documents of Visegrad Group, that Visegrad Group is open for cooperation not only with countries in Europe in aspiring to membership, but also to other regions. So I think that in case South Africa was declaring interest in cooperation with Visegrad Group, there is such platform, V4+.
All right. Thank you so much for joining us, Ryszard. That's where we have to leave it. That was Ryszard Nowosielski, commercial counsellor at the Polish Embassy in South Africa, talking to us about the Visegrad economies of Central Europe and South Africa.